And I think his whole thing was that he wanted to have a little bit, he wanted a little bit of, I guess, an understanding was what I was trying to get at with the police department. And I was a little confused about the conversation, but that is the extent of it. To be honest with you, I literally walked out of that room. I looked at Cornwood and I said, "What was that?"
Dude, that's literally my expression as well as I walked out of the room. What the hell was that? What the hell was that?
Of the legislation that he wanted to push, and I was incredibly confused in the wording of it. To be honest with you, the actual conversation I had with the mayor was apparently I have Stockholm syndrome. He wants to essentially have captains in place if they can't be there, which is sort of, I guess, where this is coming from.
I'm gonna.
When was this meeting?
What's that?
Just real quick. When was this meeting again?
Either yesterday or the day before.
What warrant did he want you to sign?
What warrant?
Yeah, he told you to sign a warrant?
Oh, no, he was just making a point. He was just saying.
He was saying you don't have the powers to do so, basically.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Who told him the process of how warrants work internally?
Cletus, probably. God damn it, Cletus.
Explain that to him?
I did not.
And he's gonna push this new legislation and have it voted on tomorrow.
Where he has control of the PD, full control.
She'll probably have new bosses here pretty soon.
He does not have the power to do that. So again, we'll talk about that after.
We're gonna have to see how that all plays out exactly.
Doesn't matter if it's a boss tomorrow, dude. I cannot wait for this. He's gonna try. He's gonna try for sure.
He's stating that seniors are stating they have no faith in the current leadership and the PD.
I'm confused though, because he had called me. I guess the way that I understand it was he had asked for me to come down. Obviously,
he's like,
have my
I'm
number.
the captain
We're
now.
not met. So when it was oh, you're being asked to come down, Turner, you and I discussed yesterday, and you had stated that did it feel like an overstep that they didn't go to a captain? And I said, I don't know. It would depend if the captain was unavailable, I guess. But you made the point that Slacks has been around 10 hours a day. That's what I realized. Yeah, you know what? You're right. Why did he call me? But if the question of what information was given to him, I'm gonna be blunt. I didn't really have anything to provide to him. And when I'm gonna be honest, when I tried to bring something up, he told me to, for lack of a better term, shut up. And I said, okay. He didn't even want to hear my point. I think he just wanted to use me as what felt like more of a badger.
As an example.
He pretty much said,
Damn,
I told
dude.
him with all due respect,
what happened?
There are things that have changed today
happened to
that
my
you
mayor
were
dad?
unaware of. And he literally said, and I quote, I don't care about those changes. What I want to know is if you can operate as a captain. And I didn't really know how to feel about it, to be honest. I'm gonna be blunt. For a first meeting with the mayor, I didn't get comfortable feelings about the guy, if I'm being honest. I don't like this new legislation. And like I said, Captain Turner, we talked yesterday about it. I don't like this new legislation. I don't like the wording of it. I don't like the idea of it.
That was actually gonna boost morale. Gonna get everybody together. The peace is about to become very tight here.
I don't see an office made for the general population in this city.
Maybe that's part of his plan.
Government decisions for the PD.
I don't think we see that either, but that's what he's pushing for.
He wanted Moulton to look over our SOPs and training programs and to give him a grade. And if we're not doing a good job, to review him that way. And we said, we don't have a problem with that, but we don't need a legislation for something like that to happen.
I don't know. Do you guys mind if I speak my mind freely for a second?
I don't have an issue with it at this point. After what I heard from the mayor.
After the screaming from the mayor?
He screamed at you too?
It was. I've never seen him yell that before. He was.
What do you mean by you too?
Oh, well, when I told him with all due respect, he literally said, I don't give a damn what the fuck you have. And then he went on. I was like, that was snarky and snappy for a guy you just met. But we have had so much. I mean, I'm just gonna be blunt. I'm trying not to swear, but I feel like it's warranted here. We have so much legislation being pushed right now that as a police department, it would take us days of studying, probably weeks of studying, to make sure that we can incorporate it in our day-to-day properly. There's legislation being pushed that we could theoretically enforce, but when you actually look at the grand scheme of what's been pushed recently, we have had so much pushed through to the public that it's in my opinion, hard for us to even keep up with it. I mean,
I think the issue is it gets pushed to the public at the same time as us, so we don't even have a chance to ask clarifying questions.
You read one page at a time.
Yeah. And maybe my stance on this counts. Maybe Malton did provide us the documentation for the DOJ stuff to hopefully keep us informed. But before that happened,
I had to set up all the permissions for that stuff.
Yeah, which was what, probably a week and a half ago? 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, it was probably, around there is when I set up that all up.
So if you look at all the legislation before then, though, that was all just kind of dumped on us. We had to figure it out from there. And this legislation, I'm really not a fan of. I know that this PD has its problems. Turner and I spoke yesterday for many hours. Captain Slacks, I know you and I have spoken many times. Ruth, if we had an opportunity, I'm sure we would have had many discussions about it. We unfortunately just don't see each other. Everything's fixed one piece at a time. It always will be. They all would have been
I
fixed
get the mayor's
yesterday.
frustration though, chat. I mean, 6
The
cops
reality
is not
is,
enough.
as a senior,
We need more. We need to have
our
like
chain of command, people have concerns.
we need
they
more
bring it to
cops.
me.
I definitely agree with that
I
sentiment.
talk with other seniors when we
It's not
decide
wrong
that
with
something
but
needs to be
at the
brought
same
up.
time, it's like we're not trying to have like quantity over quality because we saw what happened.
So,
Mass recruiting never really
it's
works.
obvious we're going to hear things and then you guys are going to hear things, but I feel like there's a system in place to communicate that. And I feel like sometimes, and I don't know if this is just the way that I'm feeling about the current mayor or just the way that our council works in general, but I don't feel like we're having an opportunity to communicate that stuff before it's pushed out. A lot of the legislation that's being pushed,
I think that's intentional.
you think so?
I do.
It very well might be.
I can tell you,
I don't know, though.
as far as staff perspective, PD's doing really good.
I'm doing the best that I can.
There's
to
not a lot of PD reports.
Continue to be
In fact,
what the expectation
there's almost
is.
none as far as staff reports. I can tell you from a staff perspective, the PD has been solid.
I don't know.
Almost zero rule breaks.
It's just
on a PD character, of course.
I will formally apologize if I shouldn't have gone to that meeting. Like I said, I don't know sort of what department or branch or sort of power the mayor has to dictate a meeting with me. I had went with the intention of having a productive conversation.
The 3 months
I left
broke the
with more
mayor. I don't think we should
questions
have.
than
It's just still 1 month. I would have said 1 month, honestly. But
Yeah, I mean, you were asked to come down. I don't really have an issue with, you weren't sure what you're getting yourself into, more or less. I don't have an issue with it.
there's no way. There's no way he's doing this on purpose. There's no way he's trying to.
Based on him
You
saying
can't.
that,
You can't
I
be saying
100%
that, Slacks.
believe he is.
I'm
You
just,
cannot be saying
I'm
that
just-
after what we just
He
went
wants
through.
to dismantle
you
the
cannot
government.
be saying that.
I'm just so shocked by what's happened in the mayor's office. I'm just so blindsided by it because I didn't expect him to lose his cool like that. I didn't expect him to just, yell and scream like that when we're trying to work on the problem. We're trying to work together.
Here's the thing. He doesn't have answers for anything. He wants to send it off to somebody else to create an answer for it. It's something we can easily do without this legislation. And the fact that he's sitting there acting the way he's acting, there's nothing about
His
this
relationship
is
with the mayor is pretty solid, chat. So this is like a left field, basically, right?
accidental or by coincidence. This is completely intended.
He wants to take power, have somebody else look into it, where we even said we would be willing to have other people look into it if he would just approach us and have a conversation, work on things together, side by side.
If this is above my
He was
pay grade,
using you. I mean, maybe he
for lack of
was,
a better term,
and now we're starting
you
to
can
wake
tell
up.
me. I was wrapping up the 911 we had from Cornwood. Max came out and he goes, "Who is that?" And I said, "It's Flop."
Even
he goes,
in his
"Oh, hey,
grave,
Flop,
Sam Bass is killing the PD. Fuck me, man.
let the cops know I want to talk to them." And then he walked away. And he sounded pretty like civil about it. I didn't know who he wanted me to talk to, but it sounds like it obviously did not go as a civil conversation.
Yeah, I'll just be honest and straight up with you, Flop. I don't mind telling you what took place in there. Nothing was civil in there from the mayor's office. Nothing. There
He was
nothing but
shouting
yelling.
from the whole entire time. We kept saying, "Hey,
Right.
lawyer voice." He apologized multiple times. Kept shouting, apologize. His biggest thing was accountability. He felt like us 3 captains, nobody hold us accountable. And who are we to, suspend or punish somebody?